Driving west through Brittany, we stopped first at the tiny village of Cleyden-Poher with its interesting 15th to 16th century church. Outside the church there's a good example of a parish close. From the Middle Ages in Brittany, bodies were buried in the church, but the churchyard was common ground where markets and games etc. were held. From the 16th century it was walled off to become the parish close, grouping together church, cemetery and ossuary where bones were held when there was no more space in the church. Outside the close there's an unusual fountain in the War Memorial Gardens. Just across the road is a children's play area. The remainder of the village consists of one street and a dozen or so houses. Châteauneuf-de-Foix is a pleasant little town on the River Rhône set around the church. Its steep streets contain a series of pretty flowered squares with cafes, restaurants and small shops. The streets eventually lead down to the river, which forms part of the Nantes-Brest Canal. A walk alongside the river leads to the weir and canal lock. Here you can have a spot of exercise overlooking the water. Further west we came to Cleyden, where the Calvary stands on top of a triumphal arch at the entrance to the parish close. The carvings, including that of the Last Supper, are in dark granite. The church was built between 1530 and 1690, and the sacristy with its cupolas and lanterns dates from 1719. We were a bit surprised to see a donkey in the churchyard. Inside the church is a 17th century altarpiece with turrets and a two-storey tabernacle. At the centre of the east end is a 16th century stained glass window. The painted organ was built in 1688. Back outside we discovered a couple were on a trekking holiday with the donkey. The little town of Châteaulin stands on a bend of the River Rhône in the green and deep valley through which the canalised river flows. Shady quays line both sides of the river. There's not much here, but there's a lovely walk alongside the river with its flower-filled containers. If nothing else, you can get a pretty good crêpe here. Ménez-Homme is the name of a hill nearer to the west coast. From here there's a vast panorama over the whole of western Brittany and the ocean beyond. In pagan times it's thought that the Celts worshipped the sun god from here. Nowadays it's used by model aircraft enthusiasts, and paragliders take advantage of the strong winds and thermal currents to soar above the countryside. We arrived on the coast on the north shore of Duardenez Bay, a vast semicircular basin over 10 miles wide and 15 miles long. We continued along the Crozon Peninsula to Morgat, a seaside resort with a harbour that can hold 400 pleasure craft.